What's going on, guys? Good morning. Well, we're out here at HQ picking up the trailer. We got all of the trash and stuff that they've been accumulating over there, and also the stuff from the camper kind of revision that we did. Got the old refrigerator, microwave, all of that. So we're gonna take it back to the house and put it all in the dumpster. Get as much of it as we can in the dumpster there at the house. Means that I pay all that money to get it dumped and don't really use it a whole lot. Figure we'll put this in there, even if I got to do it for 2 different weeks. But then we need to empty out this trailer, because I got to bring the mini X back out here and do some work on the septic tank. It's gonna be a long day. Let's get after it. All right, we made it to the dumpster. Let's go ahead and get it open, see what we can do here. All right, got everything. Everything didn't fit, but pretty close. Got all the trash in there. Got one thing of trash over there, the microwave and the refrigerator. I don't know if they'll get the microwave refrigerator. I think they will. The trash people I got are pretty good. They never really leave anything, even when I leave a couple things beside the dumpster. But we'll see. It gets picked up tomorrow. That's why I did this today. That way the dumpster's empty for this coming up week. But yeah, got the trailer empty. Let's go load the Mini X. All right, we're moving and grooving this morning, guys. Let's go ahead and get this gate dropped and go ahead and get the Mini X loaded up. I've actually got a big delivery coming today, guys, if it shows up. Ain't gonna talk about it quite yet, but stick around. You might see something huge that's gonna change the mountain later on today. Let her warm up for a minute. She don't like this cold weather. All right, we got her loaded. It was a little rough on the gate there. Gonna end up having to put some kind of little brace right there for loading and unloading this. But I might be selling it here soon, so if anybody's interested in it and doesn't live in a really rocky area, it does really well on nice ground that's not rocky. Hit me up. It is for sale. All right, let's get her strapped down and get on the road. All right, guys, made it out to HQ with the Traco. Let me show you what we're gonna get into today. It is a crappy situation, let me tell you. We're about to dig out the septic tank. For y'all that don't know, I actually have a porta potty company come out and pump the 2 campers every 2 weeks, and he told me that if I get all the rock that fell in here from when the rock truck fell in here cleared out, that he'll actually pump this, and that way I can actually run a bore scope into these pipes, check the drains, and maybe get a lid made for this and actually start using the septic tank here to drain the camper. Pops will be leaving in about a month with his, but that way I can drain that camper directly into the septic tank and save me a little bit of that jangle. All right guys, let's go ahead and get the Mini X unloaded and get this thing popping. Come on. Alright, the trick here is going to be very careful, try to not mess this septic tank up, especially with the little teeth on there. If it was a little easier to take those teeth off, I'd actually take them off and just try to use the flat bucket, but with this right here on the side as well, it really wouldn't work that well. So we're going to get what we can get out and see how this goes.
first rodeo. I've been around long enough to know that some things you can't take back, and some things you just got to let go. Well, I ain't got time to change your mind, 'cause the bus is a humming. Are you staying? Are you coming? Come on, baby. Oh, I ain't got time to change your mind, 'cause the bus is a humming. Are you staying? Are you coming? Well, you might think you take back some things you just got to let go. Well, there's some things you can't take back. Lord, some things you just got to let go. Oh, you gotta let go. Oh, Lord, you can't take
The Mini X is a little light in the rear end right now with this big old chunk of concrete. Not only is this part of the lid connected, but so is some other pieces that's further down in there. And I don't want to run the risk of tipping it, so what I'm going to do is, I got Uber here. I'm going to try to strap that corner right there and take the bucket of Uber and pick up the weight with it. And it's just better to be safe than sorry. I don't want to end up flipping into a crappy situation. But we are starting to get quite a bit out of that hole. Once I get some of this big concrete out of the way, I should be able to scoop a lot more of that stuff out of there. And then once we get it pumped out, should be able to finish getting the rest out. Well, my camera shut off. I don't know how much of that I got, but that was a big piece of concrete, the lid. I don't know if there's any more down in there or not, but there was a lot of concrete connected by rebar. As I lifted up with Uber, a lot of it came out. So now we're gonna reposition the Mini X and keep digging and see what else we find. I'm gonna let all of this dry out, and then once this dries out, I'll actually use this in the driveway. Because that's what I bought it for originally when the rock truck fell in here. We're gonna start on that side and dig that way now that we got that piece out of the way, because I think there's a whole lot in that corner right there. Well, starting to get the hang of the little Mini X now. Took a whole lot of stuff out of here. All of this don't stink, guys. It's just water and mud pretty much at this point. This septic tank hasn't been used in a very long time, but I'm getting a lot of chunks from the lid out of there as well, and a lot of the water is starting to go out of here. I'm getting close to the bottom now. I raked everything on this side quite a bit. Now I'm going to do the same thing on this side and start raking it back towards that wall. And that should be good enough for the septic tank guy to be able to pump this out so we can get a good look at it, and then jump in there with a flat shovel and kind of get the rest of the little bit of stuff out. That's whatever's left. Get it cleaned up and really evaluate the situation. You can see some of the plumbing that got broke right there. I don't know what side it broke on, whether it's this side or that side. That's why I'm going to use that bore scope to kind of see which end is what here. But it's a pretty good size septic tank. I will be putting up the T-post again when I'm done, just for safety. But yeah, the Mini X, this is a perfect project for it. It's working out real good. It's able to get down in there real good and kind of fix that. I'm probably going to have to dig out around there because you can see the wall of the septic tank right there is cracked. So I'm probably going to have to put a board up there, dig out around it, and re-pour that section right there just to fix it. But that shouldn't be too bad. I'll set back up and we're going to keep on digging. We're almost done with this project. Well, that's a wrap. I've got pretty much everything out of it. That's just a little bit of water left for them to pump out. There was a lot of rock in there. Lots of rock. Once that dries out, like I said, it'll be able to be kind of smoothed out and leveled and put in the driveway in some of the low spots. I got a little dip there. All kinds of little dips in the driveway that'll be good to put in there to pack down real good. All right, now I need to unhook the trailer from the truck. I'm leaving the Mini X here. Pops and them is going to use it in a few days to do the plumbing down there on the foundation that he's got going on. So I'm going to leave my trailer and the Mini X here, and they can transport it down there. There's a little bit of work that needs to be done with the culvert and stuff with it as well. I think they're going to do that before they head down there to do the plumbing on the foundation. So we'll get the trailer unhooked, and then we'll go ahead and put the T-post back up so nobody drives in it. And my grandbabies ain't here right now, playing in the yard and stuff, so I'm gonna leave it uncovered until it gets pumped, and then we'll put the plywood back over it. All right, caution, septic tank. Yeah, Brinley's at her dad's for a few days, so the septic tank should get pumped before then, and then we can go ahead and put the security stuff around there. All right, fun little project. Let's head back to the mountain.